April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem has been an extremely hot topic, and while the film has been doing pretty good at the box office, it looks like another major controversy is rolling in because a lighter-skinned April figure is circulating online, and some people believe it's one that will be sold in China. I have a few different things to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content that I create, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media so you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and live streams I create, consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or a supporter via YouTube memberships. Now, I wanted to talk about this, even though we don't have a lot of information on it, because it just seems so suspicious. It seems so deliberate. So as you can see, Tom Connors had posted this. He said, something looks off here. And here you go, side by side, Ooze Cruisin' figures, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem items, and they just both look very similar, though one particular aspect to them look wildly different. At the top, you can look at April, and April looks like she has the darker skin that she dons in the movie, that of course we saw in the concept arts, the darker skinned April that we now know they have in this film. But then you have this much lighter skinned April at the bottom. Now you might be thinking this is only one image, but it's not just one image. You've got this set of images, and then you have these two, and you can tell that one looks wildly different. But the thing here is that nothing else looks different except her skin color. I mean, you can see her hair color is the same, her beanie's the same, her glasses are the same purple color, her jacket is almost the same. I think that the one on the right looks slightly lighter, but I just think it's because of the lighting. But the skin colors are vastly different, and it's very bizarre that the colors of everything else, whether it is on April or even the other characters, look okay, yet with April, her skin color is vastly different. I mean, you can see the turtles' colors are exactly the same, from the blues and the greens to the browns. Even the boxes are exactly the same, but of course April just looks very different here. So of course this has caused a lot of controversy on social media, because on one hand you have people who think that this is just a misprint, which is totally a theory. We don't have any confirmation that these are like two different versions, and maybe it just happened to be that this one ended up with slightly lighter skin and a lighter tone. Okay, that is a perfectly reasonable thing to speculate, but at the same time, like I mentioned, nothing else with this looks different. Every other color, whether it is on one of the turtles or even April, they all look perfectly fine and they look very normal. And then you have, on the other hand of things, people saying, well, maybe this is photoshopped, which again, it definitely could be. I don't have a perfect explanation here, but to me this doesn't look photoshopped. It doesn't look like they used like a lightener tool over that one area, because then you'd think that her lip color would be different, that the shirt color would be different. There's just a lot of things that I think would look very different here that do not look different. In my opinion, as someone who can usually tell Photoshop, it does not appear to be Photoshop to me. I don't have a specific answer here, though. Maybe it is, right? I think that it's important to point out, but there are people speculating that this variant may actually be for another market like China, which we have seen this happen time and time again. Companies either shrink people of color on movie posters like Disney, lighten skin tones in posters, change around marketing material. I mean, there are constantly things going on for other markets like China, so definitely a pretty solid theory as well, simply because we don't know, and there are several examples of companies doing bad things like this in the past. But right now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is doing, pretty good at the box office despite the April backlash. And there has been a lot of it, not just this figure controversy, but I talked about this a few days ago. The character designer had said that April O'Neil was intended to look relatable and grounded in the real world, which was just an absurd claim to make. Like, pretty, attractive, and feminine women can't be relatable or grounded in the real world. It's just an absurd thing to say. I personally am not a big fan of the new April design. It is not just the fact that they decided to, race swap her, because we have seen one other version of April that did happen to be black, but that version of April also looked pretty feminine. She did have a pretty good design overall. This one is just frumpy. I hate her outfit. She does not at all look like the April we know and the April that we love, but this was a recent controversy as well. But like I mentioned, it is doing pretty good at the box office. It currently has opened, and it already has recovered half of its $70 million budget. Now, will it get all the way there, and will it fully recover it? We don't know at this point. It does seem like they are going to at least make that $70 million, but of course companies don't ultimately want to just recover the budget. They want usually double of what the budget was. And as you can see, it had a promising opening weekend, making $45 million at the domestic box office already. And this is just domestic, but we don't have a lot of international numbers right now, and it doesn't really seem like it made all that much internationally either. I mean, even this article that does seem like kind of a shill one from Screen Rant points out that it is not doing good as some of the other TMNT films, but it's also not doing great internationally, and we know that because of Box Office Mojo. As you can see, the domestic was 43, it says. International was a measly 8.5 million, and the worldwide total came to 51.5 million. So this still has a long way to go before it even makes back its budget or it makes any more money. On top of that, there's just a lot of questions that we have about this film right now. Will it end up making money? Will it do as good as they were hoping? And with this April figure, was this a mistake? I will be keeping my eyes on this. I will be kind of scouring the internet to see if I can find any more information on it, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.